Greetings everyone, this is IT2. Today I'm doing a book review of a book I finished tonight. I actually finished 2 books tonight. Started 3 more. I'm going to try to cram a bunch of books into the end of the year. And Soulsmith by Wight. Had an ebook version and it was pretty good. Not as good as the first book, Unsold. But yeah, the first part of the book, there's like a lot of these things with these Sand Viper clans and like this temple that there's this legendary spear in, and like it wasn't really very explanatory. And then like he was working for this woman that was like a soulsmith, and he was like, so the last book he made it up to copper, I think, right? You know, you have like copper, iron, jade, gold, then there's like high gold, true gold, and then there's like these other crazy levels beyond that. It's like a Dragon Ball Z progression story if you hadn't heard the first video. So this video he's trying to get to iron, so he's like creating these Madra coins, shards, or what are they called? Scales. So he like condenses his Madra, right, by cycling it, and then he forms these scales that it's like a full scale of Madra in it. So like then he cycles his Madra, he like rests and he builds his core back up to where it's full, and then he eats the scale so it kind of stretches it and makes his core bigger. So that's kind of how he levels up his core, like where he's able to like channel more chi or ki or Madra or chakra or whatever you want to call it. There's lots of different words for it. And this one they call it Madra. So he also, I don't know if I told you this in the first one, where he split his soul or his core. He split his core because he had that empty palm technique, and he went to this path of the twin stars, right? So he wanted to be a soulsmith. He did that. So now he's like, one half of his core is like pure Madra, and the other half is like this path of the twin stars Madra. And then, so when you become iron, your body gets like superpowers, and like there's different ways to get iron bodies. Like one of them, he said, this guy named Ethan kind of joins the crew with the girl, and he said his was like speed or something, where you could run between raindrops or something without getting hit. I forgot what the girl's Madra or her iron body helps her do. Maybe like deflects things or something. I don't remember, but like he was going to do this one where it's like the sand vipers, you get immune to poison, kind of like your body heals, kind of like Wolverine. So it's kind of like it helps you like with cuts and bleeds and minor injuries and poison and like all kinds of different things of like rebuilding your body real fast. So once he started doing that, like this guy Ethan, he went down into the temple where it's supposed to be like super dangerous, and it was kind of like Uncharted. They're all looking for this spear, trying to map out the rooms because there's so many like beasts down in there that'll just like one shot you. And Ethan like sticks him in this room with a bunch of these like sand viper beasts, and he just like tells him that he has to like either survive or die, and he just kind of does. He just like starts choking him with his bare hands and stuff, and he lives. And so that like gets him to where he's almost iron, and then he's like going to do this, what's it called, the iron body of the blood something, blood tongue, I don't know what it was, it's weird. So he gets these sand vipers and he lets him bite him, and then he has to like focus the poison from the bite through his Madra, and it like eats away at his Madra channels, and it like carves a path through his body to like channel new pathways for his Madra. Like when he becomes iron, it's gonna like heal all of that stuff and have all these extra channels. And he was like, you think he's just gonna do the one snake, then he like ends up doing like 4 snakes, and then the 5th one like almost kills him. He's like, I mean, he keeps asking for more snakes. I don't know what to tell you. And it's like, he was explaining what's going on to that girl, because she was like, what are you doing? Why are you being so cruel to him, sticking him in this room? Like, you're having these snakes bite him and stuff? And he's like, I mean, he's able to take it. And he's like, what was it he said? I forgot. Oh, he has this, like, some kind of, like, parasite ring on, right? It's like every time he channels his Madra, it's twice as hard, so it's like working out with weights. So it's also got that kind of Dragon Ball Z thing, like when he had the weighted clothes. So he's been doing that the whole time. He's been surviving in this world where he shouldn't even be surviving. So he's been like super leveling up, like unknown to everybody else. So then he finally does become iron, and then the bad guys or whatever from the high golds that are looking for the spear, they break in. They have like this big fight, and he ends up like Ethan kind of saves him because he's like this real super badass from this other clan. It's gonna like adopt him and try to like make him into some kind of like super crazy powerful guy because I don't know, it's really cool. They explained it. Something about these stonemasons would stare at a rock and look for the flaws in it, and then they could make like the most perfect sculpture because it had the right flaws in it, and like that was his flaw, was like being unsold or being weak. So the next book is that guy's clan, the Black Flame clan, so he's gonna like join them and like learn all kinds of new techniques and stuff probably. And I don't know if I'm going to read this right away because I've also added Emperor's Soul. I'm going to start trying to read that before the end of the year because it's only like 120 or something pages. It's like real short. So then I've also started on Lord of the Flies, which is like 200 pages. About 200 pages. I'm already like halfway done with it. So if I get this one read and I get this one read, oh shit, I just lost my mark. Then I might try to read Animal Farm, because Animal Farm is only like 120, 140 pages, something like that. And if I get that one read, then I might try to read Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. It's only like 260-ish pages. So these are all my real short books. So if I can like cram all of these in like the end of the year, just to get my numbers up for Goodreads, because next year I was planning on going for 50, but if I can, I'm already like getting like 42 or 43 maybe books this year, then I might go for 60 next year. There's only like 52 weeks in a year, so that's more than one a week, which is pretty good for me. Anywho, that is the story of that one, Soulsmith. And now I need to make another video because I want to talk about another book.